Hello friends, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator and Sofia, Bulgaria. I'm recording another video and decided to take the ATR72-600 for another spin to see if we can properly execute a VORDME approach this time. If you have watched the last video or remember it, at the end we were not able to properly execute the VORDME approach and I had to take control and land the aircraft visually. But this time I'm hoping things will go a little bit better. So we are going to depart from Sofia in Bulgaria and our destination will be Tirana, and this flight will be about an hour long. So, and different from the other one, we will be using ATC provided by Pilot2ATC, and hopefully this will increase your viewing pleasure. We are currently parked at Sofia Airport, not Tirana, that's our destination. And we are currently on ramp 13. And we will be powering the aircraft from a cold and dark state and getting everything ready. So without further ado, let's jump into the cockpit and start powering up our aircraft. Welcome to the flight deck of the ATR72-600. We are currently cold and dark. Ground power is connected. Main door is open. Cargo door is still closed, and tail prop is on the ground or in place, and wheel chucks are in place as well. We will start with the initial power-up procedure. I'm not gonna connect Pilot2ATC because the ATC chatter gets in the way and makes it a little bit hard to focus on what I'm doing here and what I'm speaking about. So we will eventually connect and get ATC clearance for our departure. So electrical power up, we need to check a couple things before we can introduce battery power to the aircraft. Wipers are in the off position, lights are off, landing gear is down, condition levers are in the cutoff position, throttles are in the ground idle position, gas lock is locked, and parking brake is engaged. Other than that, I think that's all we need to worry about at this point, and we can go ahead and introduce the battery power to the aircraft by unlocking the guard, battery master to on, and the systems will go through a self-test. In the meantime, we can set our weights and balances. I like to do it right here. So according to our flight plan, we are going to take 2,700 kilograms of fuel. And we have 2,550, so that's not quite enough. And this is the closest we can get, I guess. According to the flight plan again, the payload is 5,258 kilograms, so we will adjust that as closely as possible. 258 is not quite there, so we will be happy with this. So that's our weights and balances set. Electrical power is now introduced to the aircraft, or DC power rather. We'll turn the nav lights on and we'll arm the emergency exit lights. From this point on, we will continue with the ground power connection to the aircraft and do the rest of the setup to get ourselves ready for departure. Ground power, as you see, is available. We will turn the ground power on and we will continue with our overhead panel flows. We'll start from the left side, bottom to top, and continue along from left to right. Light switches, we don't change anything here. Fuel pumps, we can test to see they are running. Unfortunately, there are no failures, so this is probably not going to make any difference, but for the sake of fun, we will do it anyway. And cross feed as well, so all the feed low pressure lights are extinguished, so that means our pumps are functioning properly. Doors are unlocked, or cabin or cargo door. Cabin door is unlocked, cargo is not. So that's the door panel. Nothing to do here. Landing gear is showing 3 green, which is what we want. TLU is on the auto position. And we continue with the fire system fault test and engine fire test, as well as the squib test. From there, we'll just move to the middle panel Nav lights are on, the rest of the lights will remain off at this point. We'll engage the prop brake to prepare and get ready for right engine start. Engine start switch or knob will stay in the off position. We'll turn the DC generators on. TRU is not turned on at this point, so it will remain in the current position. And cockpit voice recorder test. You can do it if you want to. That's really, I believe, done in real life. And I'm not sure if this test is working at all. Anyway, over here, we now loaded the aircraft with fuel and payload instantly, so we can turn on our passenger signs. Nothing to do here. Windshield heat comes on. Prop heat stays off until taxi. We'll turn the AC valve generators on as well as AC valve electrical power. We'll turn the hydraulic pumps to on position. Down below, we'll do a lights test to make sure all of our lights are working. And looks like they are. And then we will move the light switch to bright because we are in daylight conditions. Nothing to do with the air conditioning and bleed panel. We'll turn the oxygen supply on and we will do the right engine system fault test, fire test, and the scoop test. Alright, that's the overhead panel done. Our systems are online and we will continue with programming our FMS. But before doing so, I'm gonna start the boarding because it's gonna take some time. We will request boarding from GSX.
Boarding requested.
And we will just board the passengers, no crew at this point. We assume that everybody, the flight crew is on board, including the flight attendants. Alright, let's go down and continue with the FMS programming. We'll go to the init page. We will first initialize our position by selecting the GPS position and no, we don't want.
Passengers bus is coming.
Clicking sensors init line select K and it will turn to green. That's done. Next we will init the weights by pressing and holding the line select key next to zero fuel weight and fuel on board. That will give us a zero fuel weight of 18,330 kilograms and our estimated zero fuel weight was 18,268. We need to open the cargo door for the cargo to be loaded. We will go back. We will initialize our performance. We will be flying at flight level 200, just 20,000 feet. Our alternate airport today is Rome, so Lima, India, Romeo, Foxtrot, Fiumicino, and we will divert at 18,000 feet if we have to. That's all said and done. I'm waiting for this to become active and we will return. We'll check the units very quickly. They are looking okay and we will go to the flight plan initialization. We can also check the nav data, it's current, so it is fine, and we continue with flight plan initialization. Route menu, we are departing from Sofia, Lima Bravo, Sierra Foxtrot, to our destination Tirana, so Lima Alpha Tango India. Our flight number today is SWT690901.
Hello. Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
That's done now. And we will return. Actually go to the flight plan page. We are not quite ready to select our departure at this point. We can contact ATC and get our clearance and program the rest, and that's what I'm planning to do. So let's connect Pilot2ATC. And hope that the voices will work, because I'm using Amazon Poly voices and sometimes they do not work, but looks like it is working. We are listening to the ATC. 1021 is the QNH. We'll set that up. And then switch frequency to ground. Okay, beautiful. We will contact and request clearance. Ground, good morning. Swift 690901, radio check please.
Swift 690901, you're loud and clear.
Perfect. Swift 690901, ready to copy IFR. Swift 690901, ready to copy IFR.
Swift 690901, we don't have a flight plan on file for you.
Oh, that's my bad. I forgot to file my plan. I'm doing it right now. And we will request it again. Swift 690901, ready to copy IFR.
Swift 690901 is cleared to Lima Alpha Tango India. Climb via the NAPE-2S departure within a
Okay, we are taking NAPE-2S.
Expect departure runway 09. Climb to flight level
Runway
140 via the departure.
We'll temporarily insert
Expect higher
this.
clearances 8 minutes after departure. Approach on 123.
We are cleared to 14,000 feet initially. So we will set that.
Is cleared to Lima Alpha Tango India. Climb via the NAPE-2S departure within a bit transition.
And squawk is 3361.
Level 140 via the departure.
So we will
Expect higher
set our transponder code.
Departure. Approach on 123.7. Squawk 3361.
Okay.
Swift 690901 Redback correct. QNH is 1021. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
QNH is 1021 Swift 690901.
Beautiful. So that's our departure selected. We are departing runway 09 via the NAPE-2 Sierra departure with NAPE transition and climbing to 14,000 feet. We will continue with the rest. From NAPE we are taking an airway, so click there, airway Tango 214. That will take us to LATI intersection, which is here. From LATI we are taking Tango 214 again. I'm sorry, no, we are taking Papa Niner 2, and Papa Niner 2 will take us to Mawar. From Mawar we are taking Papa Niner 2 again, and that will take us to Odras. From Odras our departure arrival starts, so we can temporarily insert this. And if you go next, this is normal because we haven't executed that. The waypoints are not visible just yet. We'll switch to altitude mode, estimated time of arrival, speed and altitude, and we'll continue and select our arrival. We will select the planned arrival. If it changes, we will change it on the fly if ATC gives us a different one. So we are expecting a VOR-DME approach to runway 35 via the Odra 3 Hotel arrival with a tirana 1 transition and no transition on the star side. Alright, we can execute this now because we all entered everything correctly, and we'll check for any discontinuities. There is one. We can clear this and execute it one more time, and we might have left it there because we would probably receive vectors from the ATC, but so be it. But that's completed, and we will go to the performance page. Transition altitude is 10,000 for Sofia, and these are our speeds. Okay, so FMS programming is pretty much done. We requested clearance. We are ready to start our right engine to provide electrical power and disconnect the GPU. To do that, we will turn the right fuel pump on, starter selector to start A and B, and we will hit the start switch. We are waiting for 10% and moving the condition lever to feather position. That will start the engine and provide electrical power to the aircraft. When the engine is stable, we can dismiss the GPU and disconnect ground power. or disconnect ground power and dismiss the GPU is the correct order to do it. So GPU is now disconnected. We will tell GSX to dismiss GPU, and it looks like our boarding is complete, and we will remove the ground power. Let me just go outside. Last pieces of luggage is being loaded. We can close the main door and store the tail prop. Wheel chucks will remain in place until we are ready to push back. Alright, at this point we are programmed, and we'll set the heading bug to our departure runway heading, which is 89er. So we will bug 089. That's done. And now we are ready to select heading mode, nav mode, indicated airspeed, and VNAV. Perfect. So all autopilot panel settings are complete now, and we are just waiting for the luggage. We'll continue with the checklist. Final cockpit preparation, it's done. Parking brake is engaged, altimeters are set and checked, landing elevation is automatic, FMS COM and nav frequencies are set. Fuel on board, we have 2,760 kilograms, and we need 2,700, so fuel checks. Engine fuel used, we can reset it from here. We haven't used any though. Memo panel here, this will stay here until we have both engines running, and power management is set to take off. So that's the checklist complete, and we will continue with the before propeller rotation. But we are waiting for the boarding to be completed. We can also go to the nav and then see if there is a VOR that we can use as a secondary nav aid at the airfield for our departure, and there is Sofia VOR 112.6. We will remove the auto and tune it. 112, oh, not there, 112.6. Enter twice to make it active, and we should be picking the signal, and we can see it on our bearing indicator here. Beautiful. So our secondary nav aid is also programmed, and we are ready to leave here. We are just waiting for the last pieces of luggage to be loaded, and we will be requesting our pushback from the ATC. While we are waiting, why don't we go ahead and do the checklist so that we are ready for engine start. CDLS cockpit door lock system set. Boarding is complete, so we can close the cargo door and we can request boarding. Oh, we can request, well, no, we can't because we haven't requested departure pushback clearance, so let's do that. Swift 69091 ready for pushback and engine start.
Swift 69091 pushback and engine start approved.
Beautiful.
Pushback and engine start approved. Swift 69091.
We will request pushback and continue with the checklist. CDLS is on. FMS takeoff data is confirmed. We haven't set our trim. That's the last thing we will do. Trim is 1.0 up, so let's set that up right now before I forget. So it's indicated with the magenta indented arrow thingy. That's set. Trims are set. Tail prop is on board. Doors are closed as we see here. Seatbelt signs are on. And I'll turn the beacon light using my controller.
Departure checks completed.
Okay, procedure is
Bypass pin
completed.
inserted.
We can turn on the left fuel pump and wait for the pushback crew to set the aircraft, and then we can start our engines. Alright, tug is connecting, and this is going very smoothly. I like it. We'll see what kind of taxi route we will take from the ATC. Just waiting for pushback to
Locking gear.
complete. Okay. It's gonna take a little bit more, but I kind of like to have this kind of immersion rating in the cockpit. And there we go. According to our current position, we are gonna push the tail to the left and nose to the right. So tail left, nose right. That's this
Release
guy.
parking brakes, please.
We will release the parking brakes. We will remove the wheel chucks, and I think nose wheel steering is turned off prior to pushback in real life.
Release
So
parking brakes, please.
we will release the parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start
Alright.
at will.
Beautiful. We will wait until we leave the ramp and then start or disengage the propeller brake for our right engine. I'm just watching to see if we are cleared enough to start or spin the propeller. I think we are safe now, so that is now disengaged. We have 13.9 NP, so we can move the condition lever to auto, and that will start spinning our propeller for flight ready. Low pitch will be displayed until we are on takeoff power or in the air, or have more thrust.
Please set parking brakes.
And we will set the parking brake.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
We will confirm after we start the left engine. The right engine is stable, starting left. 10% on the NH. Fuel introduced, pressure is increasing, temperature is increasing, and we have internal turbine temperature displaying, so that's ignition. Oil pressure, that's a good engine start, and we'll move the condition lever to auto position because we passed 10% NP, and that is now done. We can confirm the good engine start,
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
and then we
You
will
can
move
disconnect.
the starter switch to off position, turn the probe heat on. We will turn our taxi lights on. We will wait for the crew to remove the bypass pin. We don't want to blind them, but we can set the flaps to 15 degrees, and we can continue with the before taxi checks. FWS is recalled and nothing is showing. Cockpit com hatch is closed, and one thing I forgot is the TRU. Alright. Condition levers are in auto, anti-icing is not required, TRU is on. We'll perform an anti-skid test. That's done, flaps are 15 degrees, and finally, if they disconnected the
Tow
tap,
truck disconnected.
we can
Bypass pin
turn the nose
removed.
wheel steering to on, and
Left
that
is clear.
completes the
Right is
procedure.
clear.
So we are waiting for them to give us a clear signal with the bypass pin in the hand. So we are waiting for that. We can request our taxi clearance. Swift 69901 ready to taxi.
Swift 69901 taxi to runway 09 via taxiways Bravo, Alpha, hold short runway 09.
Taxi to runway 09 via taxiways Bravo, Alpha, hold short runway 09 Swift 69901.
Okay, so we are taking this taxiway all the way to the runway. That's an interesting route, but so be it. We have the bypass pin. Yep, he is disappeared. Have a good trip, so we are ready to roll. Taxi light is coming on. And we will do the taxi checks while we are on the fly. Parking brake disengaged. We started to roll. We'll just check the brakes and do the takeoff taxi checklist. Taxi lights on, takeoff lights will remain off until we are ready to take off. Brakes are checked. FGCP and FMA is checked. Takeoff config test, that's this button here. Hard to press. Oh, there is something. Oh, that's the gust lock. We need to turn the gust lock off. Let me just not miss my turn, and do this very quickly. No horn, takeoff config confirmed. Alright, we are going a little bit faster than I'd like, but we can always use the brakes to slow the aircraft down. And we will be taking this taxiway. Beautiful. There is some elevation problems with the scenery, so please ignore that, guys. There is nothing I can do about it. I will switch the second display to ND. and change the mode to the arc, or while we are taxiing and takeoff config test is on, so that's the checklist complete. We can also cycle through our waypoints. I just did that turn very sharp to make sure we don't have any funny turns or any discontinuity on our routing. Doesn't look like it, so we can go to the arc mode and I can focus on taxiing. I'm terrible at this, doing two things at the same time. We can decrease the range, and there we go. We are going a tad faster than I like, so I'm gonna slow it down, and you will see more elevation problems with the scenery down below. It feels like we are off-roading with an aircraft. Here in a little bit you'll see that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But so far, we're doing fine. And this clock runs on its own, I believe. I don't have to do anything, so I will leave the clock alone and enjoy the view. Although I shouldn't be doing this too much because I will drift off the taxiway and I'm still accelerating. So I'm gonna slow it down because we are coming to that bumpy section of the scenery, and you will see what I mean here in a little bit. So far so good. An entry to the runway is just a little bit interesting here, so we'll see if that will cause any issues. And I hope that Pilot2ATC works along the way, because sometimes the voices I'm using from Amazon Poly fail to load, and that's when the Pilot2ATC starts to have problems. But I just wanted some variety, and I didn't want to use Microsoft David and Zero Desktop only. Therefore, we'll see if we will have any issues. Look at that. These are the elevation problems of the scenery I was talking about, and there's even a very steep slope right in front of us, which almost feels like we are about to fall down from sidewalk to the pavement. There it is. This one is the one I'm talking about. I'm gonna slow down because I don't want to cause something that will make the simulator think that we damaged the aircraft. Look at this. Oh my god. Yeah, I think we scraped some part of the aircraft. I hope it is still airworthy, but you guys didn't see it, right? Yeah, we're coming to the runway very shortly. And I'll keep you guys with me for now, because there's very short taxi left to the runway. And then after takeoff, during climb, upon completing the after takeoff checklist, I will cut the video and bring you guys back when we are close to top of descent. Because there is really nothing to do until we get there, and we'll talk about those when we are there. Let's slow it down. We are going a little bit faster than I like. And we will be probably now climbing a slight slope here, so it will probably cause us to decelerate. If that happens, we will add more thrust to keep the aircraft taxiing until we get to the hold short point of the runway. But so far I think we are doing fine. Watching my ground speed, currently at 17 knots ground speed, and we are holding it just fine, so I'm happy. And let's do this. I keep forgetting this. Let's tell FS traffic while we are going. Oops, let me make, hold on, what's going on? Oh, when that window's open, I can't command the aircraft. That's interesting. Alright, I think I'm back on the taxiway. Sorry about that, didn't know that would happen. We are going to Tirana, and that is done. Wow. Alright, down to 8 knots, so this is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna add a little bit thrust to increase the ground speed and keep taxiing. That should be enough. And there's an aircraft taking off, I believe, from the same runway. So we'll see if we will hear hand off to tower frequency, but tower frequency should be the same as ground, because this is a very small airport, and both frequencies for ground and tower are the same. maybe the same controller. I don't know if it's true in real life, but that's how Pilot2ATC perceives it or thinks it is. So this next left turn is our entry to runway 09er. So we'll take the left turn and follow that aircraft in front of us, which is about to take off. A very sharp turn here. We managed it somehow, and we are gonna slow down because there's a slope again. We'll see if we hear a hand off the tower. If not, we will request takeoff clearance while holding short here and doing the before takeoff checklist. We have to wait for that aircraft anyway, so I'm gonna hold the brakes right here. Alright. And we will complete the checklist. Before takeoff checklist. Takeoff briefing performed, gas lock is off, flight controls checked, transponder, which we forgot to turn on, I believe, is now on. Boost function is not required, airflow is normal, cabin crew advised, engine bleeds are on, external lights will turn the strobe on. We'll wait for the landing lights until we get our takeoff clearance. Flight director bar centered, rudder cam centered, and procedure is complete. Alright, let's wait for that aircraft to leave, hopefully. I'm not sure what's taking him so long. This is part of the issue with FS traffic. Let me just pause the video here, guys. I don't want you to sit here, watch that, and I'll bring you guys back when we are ready. Okay, that aircraft is gone and we are ready for departure. I hope there is no one on approach. Can't see quite well, but let's contact the ATC and request our departure clearance. Swift 699er1 ready for departure. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna enter the runway. Maybe Pilot2ATC is confused due to our position and the scenery data. So we will enter the runway and see if they will contact us for departure clearance. Alternative strobe lights must be on. Yep, they are. Landing lights will remain off until we get the clearance. We'll do this again. Let's see if that will help. We'll pull up to the front where we see the runway markers. And hopefully we will be able to request departure clearance. Swift 699er1 ready for departure.
Swift 699er1 winds are 115 at 7 knots, cleared for takeoff. Runway 09.
Alright, we are cleared for takeoff. Landing lights are on. We'll turn the speed so that we can control our speed according to our performance calculation. And we will hold here. Runway 09 is identified. And we will increase the throttles to 50% torque. And let go of the brakes. And move the throttles forward until we see notch on the FMA. Notch is seen. Forward pressure on the yoke. Oh, bumpy a little bit. Is it windy? Anyway, we will maintain the center line as much as we possibly can. 80 knots checked. Coming up 100. Slowly releasing the pressure and rotate. Off we go. Alright, from now on our co-pilot should take care of the communications. Positive weight, gear is coming up. And we should pitch down a little bit to pick up some speed so that we can retract our flaps. So I'm trying to follow the flight director here, but staying a little bit low with a 10-degree pitch so that we can increase the speed to the flap retraction speed, which is this orange double lines. Alright, let's not drift and follow the flight director and maintain a 10-degree pitch. Alright, we are passing 3,000 feet and we are about to execute that turn.
Swift 699-1 contact Sofia, approach on 123.7. Enjoy your
And we
morning.
can switch to climb mode now because we took off. Turn on autopilot and wait for the flap retraction speed.
Approach Swift 699-1 climbing to flight level 140.
Swift 699-1, good morning.
Alright, we can retract the flaps and complete the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up, flaps are retracted, power manager is on climb, engine bleed is on, taxi lights are coming off now, and altimeters will keep it there until we reach 10,000, which is our transition altitude, and change it when we are there. So far so good. There's Sofia behind us and we are climbing up nicely. Alright, beautiful first part of the video. We should be making that turn very shortly. I'm not sure why we are not following the arc, but insisting on getting to that waypoint first. That's something hopefully they will fix later. But now we are making the turn, which is fine. Coming up to 5,000, there's a 10,000 restriction I'm showing, so I'm curious to see what that is, 10,000 or below, so that's a true restriction. We will keep the progress page here. I'm not sure if we can control the second FMS to display something else, maybe the flight plan, no. Can we go to init? Route, all is looking good, but this second FMS seems to be frozen, so we'll just leave it alone. Alright, that was a little bit wide turn. We overshot the turn quite a bit, but we will be back on track very shortly. We will sync our heading bug, trying to keep this as a habit so that I don't forget to do it, because you may never know when you need to switch to heading mode, and that needs to be synced so that you can just click a button instead of syncing your heading as well. Alright, so far we are gonna climb up like this, and one thing I forgot is the weather radar. I will turn it on and set a 15-degree tilt, but I'm not sure if this is working. Okay guys, this is pretty much it for the takeoff part. We will follow the ATC's instructions and climb to our cruise level of flight level 200, and I will bring you guys back when we are close to our top of descent. Welcome back friends, we are roughly 6 miles away from our top of descent. We cruised along nicely, followed the ATC instructions, and right before I started recording we received instructions to expect your approach to runway 35 with the TR-M1 transition. So the approach we programmed is good. We are waiting for ATC to give us descent instructions. When we are coming to the top of descent, I'm not going to start the descent until I hear from ATC, and hopefully we will hear before it's too late. Also, we have some restrictions on our
Approach on 136.35 Swift 6.
okay, we are handed off to the approach, and Pilot2ATC didn't recognize the voice. That's what I was feeling. Sorry about that.
Flight level 200.
Swift 699-1, good morning.
Okay. So we have some restrictions due to high terrain in front of us, as you see from the window. We'll use a vertical speed descent when we receive the descent clearance from ATC, and descend using the vertical speed mode to respect those restrictions. We could have done VNAV, but I think when you are using ATC, vertical speed is the way to go, and we are not on our own. We'll see how close we can get the top of descent or descent instructions from ATC. They should give it to us very shortly, so I'm waiting to receive that instruction, start the descent, do the descent checklist, and cut the video to bring you guys back when we are ready to execute the approach. We will also take a look at the FMC and see what we need to set up before we reach the approach phase of the flight. Let's do that while we are waiting for ATC to give us descent clearance. Couple things, we go to the performance page, go to the next approach page. Transition altitude is 10,000 again, so we will plug it in here, and the QNH at our destination airport is, let me see if I can get it. Yes, 1015. So we will use 1015. Plug in here, we are using full flaps landing and our approach speed is 109 knots. So that's done. And I think that's the only thing we are going to do. Just waiting for ATC to give us descent clearance. We passed top of descent but still haven't heard from ATC, hopefully soon. If not, we will request a lower flight level. I'm gonna give them a little bit more time. We still have quite a distance to our destination. We passed the top of descent, 65 miles. We should be fine on our descent, because we need to descend down to 7,000, and that's 13,000 difference, and we only need like 52 miles for it. So let's give them some more time, and eventually they will give us descent clearance. That's the thing. Let's complete the descent checklist to make sure we are ready. FWS is recalled, landing elevation is automatic, FMS nav performance is set. Decision height, we haven't done that yet, so maybe we can use this time to do that, and it's going to be a decision height of 680 feet above mean sea level. We are using the barometric one, not the MDA. MDA is 555. So we will start putting it there, and it's, oh, sorry guys, it's right here if you are curious where I see it.
One descend to cross Tirana at 7,000 feet and descend via the TRN1 transition for the war approach to runway 35 to cross Tiki at or above 4,000 feet. QNH is 1015 at Tirana.
Descend via the TRN1 transition for the war approach to runway 35.
Okay, we can initiate our descent. I will set the altitude to 4,000. That's what we are cleared to. Then initiate vertical speed, and I will descend at 2,000 feet per minute. And we will try to respect those restrictions. I'm gonna come back on the throttles so that we don't overspeed the aircraft. Maybe all the way to the idle. Decision height is set, and arrival briefing is performed. Speaking of which, our arrival is a circle to land, so we will pass over the VOR at 7,000 feet. Follow the VOR. After VOR, we will fly outbound on the course of 191 degrees until 14 DME, and we will execute a left turn to 349er, which is our final approach course, and intercept the localizer and descend to land. Remember, we are doing a VOR DME approach. There will be no vertical guidance, so the descent is going to be on us. While we are descending, let's set the localizer frequency, which is 117.7. 7.7, enter twice to make it active, and we will tune it to the co-pilot. Nav radio or nav 2 as well. 117.7, enter, and see if we are receiving. Yes, we are reading the DME. We are all set for our landing. Alright, all looking good. We are coming down. We will meet that first restriction, and I'm going to stop the video here and bring you guys back when we are ready to execute the approach. Alright friends, we are coming down to 10,000. We met all the restrictions and never received any corrections from the ATC. So we are on profile. This magenta box is our vertical profile indicator as long as it's at the center, which means we are on profile and descending nicely. And we are just clear of the mountain range almost, and getting close to the VOR. 8 miles and we will be passing over. There's an aircraft climbing right there. And that's pretty much what we are waiting for. Coming up to 10,000 and then turning on our landing lights and switching to standard barometric pressure, which is 1015. And then we are at 10,000. 900 feet to go. I will wait with you guys here and then bring you guys back when we are ready to do the approach. I just wanted to capture the passing below 10,000 part of the flight. Alright, coming down nicely. Beautiful, very nice. We can also increase the throttle to get there a little bit faster if we want to. I'm trying to be mindful of that because we eventually need to slow down as well. Therefore, I don't want to accelerate too much, but so far I think we are looking good. Profile is fluctuating due to our up and down bumps, but eventually it settles in the middle, so which means we are still good. We can turn the passenger signs on now because we are about to, oh, not that one, pass below 10,000 and 400 feet to go. And that's our 7,000 or above restriction. And looks like we are still on profile, which is good. If we drift, we'll manage with the vertical speed. Currently we are descending 1,000 feet per minute to stay on profile. I initially started descent at 2,000 and gradually decreased our vertical speed to stay on the profile. We are not currently matching the speed that is calculated, so that will drift us from the profile, but I want to get there a little bit faster to wrap up the video. Okay, almost at 10,000. I'm going to turn the landing lights on. And that is the last thing we are going to do. Switching to local pressure. Setting it to 1015. And I'm cheating with the B key, but I think it was set correctly. Alright, we'll bring you guys back when we are ready to do the approach. Couple things to explain before I leave. If I increase the range, you'll see the tree drop. That's why I was keeping the heading synced. When we make this left turn, somewhere around the middle, I will switch to heading mode.
6991, you are 4 nautical miles northeast of Tirana Airport. Cleared for the VOR_DME approach to runway 35 at Tirana with the TRN1 transition.
Okay.
Cleared for the VOR_DME approach to runway 35 with the TRN1
VOR_.
transition Swift
I wish they pronounced this
6991.
better. But we are cleared for the VOR_DME approach to 35 with the TRN1 transition. So we are cleared for approach. And we'll make this turn somewhere in the middle, switch to heading mode, change the nav source to ILS, and manually turn using the heading mode, and then activate nav again to align with the localizer. That's the plan, but I'll bring you guys back when we are ready to do that.
You have traffic at 1 o'clock, 8 miles at 5,000 feet. Swift 6991, you have traffic at 1 o'clock, 10 miles at 6,400 feet.
Swift 6991, traffic is in sight. Alright guys, I'll see you at approach. Welcome back friends, we are almost ready to execute the approach. The ride became a little bit bumpy due to weather, and the terrain around us is quite saturated due to satellite imagery. I'm not sure if it's too realistic, but we will ignore that. We are currently flying towards the TRN or Tirana VOR, and we are still on the nav mode, but my heading is synced, so I'm gonna switch to heading hold, switch to ILS, and set my final approach course of 349er, and switch back to FMS and nav. Because the reason I'm keeping the FMS is I lose the vertical speed, vertical profile when I switch to heading and change the nav source. So I will keep nav until we get close, and then we will execute a turn at 14 DME. That's according to the chart. That's how the circle to land is published. At 14 DME, we will take a left turn to 349er. We are currently at 191, which is the correct heading on the published chart, and we are still on profile, so we are looking good. Actually, we might shallow the descent just a tad bit. Oh no, we are below the profile. We need to increase it. Now we are back on profile. So that's what I was managing all along since I started the descent. The profile level eventually sorted itself out. So let's switch to heading mode and switch to
6991 QNH is 1015 at Tirana contact tower on 122.5.
Okay, we are handed off to tower.
QNH is 1015 tower on 122.5 Swift 6991.
And we are still on profile. I'm waiting for 14 DME, and then we will make a turn using the heading mode.
Descending to 4,000 feet.
Swift 6991, good morning.
Okay, we are on tower frequency now. We can bring the approach checklist. Seatbelt signs are on. We passed below 10,000. Landing lights are on. Altimeters are set. Cabin altitude we can check quickly going to the systems page. 1, 2, 3. It should be this one here. It's looking normal. We'll go back to the ND and confirm, and approach checklist is complete, so we are ready to execute the approach. We are coming up to 13 DME, and I'm waiting for 14 to make the turn towards the VOR. We are a little bit below, so I will shallow the descent to get back on the profile, and that should give us enough time to descend because we are still waiting to reach 14 DME on the bearing indicator right here. 1 mile to go, and I'm ready to execute the turn. Okay, we are coming down to 4,000. We will maintain 4,000 until we are cleared for landing. Okay, 13.6. 13.8, almost there. 14 miles, making the turn. And we are going to make this turn very gradually to be able to stay on the arc and slowly turn so that we don't lose the arc, and we will line up with the localizer when we finish the turn. Okay, let's turn just a little bit more. Profile looks like we are maintaining. This happened again. Lost the internet connection? That's interesting. I thought that bug was sorted out, but looks like apparently it is not. We'll keep turning gradually, and that will hopefully get us to where we need to be. Let's keep turning. We will maybe go a little bit straight. We are not quite making the arc, but that's fine. We are still on profile as we see it here. I will just gradually keep turning using my heading about 1 degree at a time so that we can increase the radius of the turn. looks like we are going to get to 4000 and maintain that.
Atlanta 332, contact 128-160.
We will call when we are established on final. We can increase the throttle just a little bit to pick up some speed, but we are below 180, so we can go flaps 15 if we want to at this point. I'm just not quite there yet. I want to finish this turn before I can extend the flaps. That's what I'm waiting for. To get there just a little bit faster. Looks like we captured the altitude. Alright, I will keep going like this. Get to the localizer intercept course. We will turn just a tiny bit more towards the waypoint. It's marked on R&D. Yes, everything is looking good. And after the turn, we will continue with before landing checklist when we are configured completely. But this heading looks fine to me. We didn't quite make the arc, but so be it. It's sometimes hard to control your bank. I'm not sure if this aircraft has a bank limiter. I don't think it does. And we can also switch this to and set the co-pilot's course to 349er. I can't see well, but course is 329er, so let's go up just a tiny bit. Okay, that's good enough. And I can probably just execute the turn now completely to turn towards the localizer. We will switch the nav source now to the localizer and click nav. It should align us with the VOR that's seen on the FMA, and we can turn off the NTI systems. I turned them on. We were passing through the clouds. Alright, that's done. We can clear the NTI's angle of attack, and we are on the VOR now. So we need to set the altitude down to 1700. And call for established on final. Swift 69091 established on final. Nothing happened. I'm gonna start descending because I think we were cleared for the approach. So we'll go vertical speed mode and we will descend at 800 feet per minute. Bring the throttles down. I think we can go flaps 15 now. Flaps 15. Swift 69091. Okay, I'm not... Oh, something happened to Pilot2ATC. It's frozen. Oh my gosh. Okay. We lost the ATC on final, guys. I am sorry for that, but I'm not sure if it will come back. It is gone. Okay, let's see here. I think it came back. Swift 69091 established on final. Okay, the voice recognition or voice generation halted again, but what I received from the ATC is Roger, change to advisory frequency approved, report field in sight or cancel IFR when on the ground. Swift 69091 field in sight. So it's gonna cause that issue again because the Amazon Poly is giving me trouble. But I'm gonna keep descending like this. Maybe a tad bit more because I feel like I'm a little bit high. And I'm gonna add some throttle to maintain 140. Before landing, check this. Cabin is advised, where landing gear is not quite down yet. I was waiting until we reach this waypoint here, so let's keep it there for now. Okay, it looks like. Can we request landing? Swift 69091. Request landing. No, again. The voice recognition and Amazon Poly is giving some trouble, so let's not worry about the ATC and focus on landing. I think I need to descend a little bit faster. I feel like I'm high, so I'm gonna increase the descent rate. And we are established on final on the localizer. Courses 349er will sync the heading to that heading. Our missed approach altitude is well, I can't quite see it because of how the chart is displayed. 3000, okay. Are we below 3000? No. We'll wait. And for the VOR DME approach, we need to drop the altitude down to field elevation of 100 feet so that the aircraft keeps descending. Oh, there's an aircraft taking off, looks like. Yeah. Okay, that's the speech generation engine failure. That's what I'm receiving from the Pilot2ATC. As you see, guys, there is no perfect ATC when it comes to flight simulation, and even the best one has issues, and this is the best one. If I was using Microsoft Zero and David, I would probably not have any problems, but that kills the variety. So I'm gonna drop the landing gear, slow us down. We are on final, and when we are at 150 knots, we will extend the second notch of flaps. It is still high, I can see it, and I need to increase the rate of descent, but we should be fine when I take control. I'm inclined to do that right now, but I'm waiting for the second notch of flaps, which I am going to extend right now. Very close. I'm waiting for the speed to drop below 150. Otherwise we will get a speed warning. Okay, come on, come on. Alright. That's the speed warning. I was a little bit too fast, I guess. Okay, landing gear down, 3 green, flaps checked, power management goes to takeoff for missed approach. TLU low speed checked, nothing there. Anti-icing light is extinguished, external lights are on, and finally we can turn the taxi light on as well. The landing gear is down, and that's before landing checklist complete. I will disconnect the autopilot and align myself with the runway, and we will not worry about the ATC going forward because it is getting into a lot of problems here. So let's keep descending until we see the puppies. I'm looking and seeing 4 white at this point, and I'm trying to align the aircraft with the localizer a little bit better. So hopefully we will. But we are fine. Our final approach speed was 109er. We don't want to overspeed the aircraft, but we want to descend to get down to the puppies and profile. And Pilot2ATC is giving a lot of warnings now, so we will keep it alone and see what happens when we reach to the airport. Alright, let's not speed up too much. But we should be getting back on profile very shortly. I'm just waiting for puppies to show it. Because this angle looks like the right angle to get down to the airport. It's just we are not on profile. And don't get me wrong, the puppies on Microsoft Flight Simulator are off sometimes. So I'll let the aircraft descend. There is one red. I'm gonna pitch up a little bit because I don't want to descend too fast. And I want to get down to approach speed now and maintain this angle to get back on profile just a little bit later because I need to slow down. Okay, 2 red, 2 white. We are on profile. I'm gonna pitch up to maintain the profile, and that should slow us down to the approach speed. So far, so good. Coming down nicely. And we are still on profile, which is what we want. Chin up just a little bit more. I'm using my trim wheel so that I don't have to fight with the yoke. But we are looking good. We are still on profile, slowing down to our approach speed, which is fine. That's what we want. We don't want to slow down too much. I'm gonna pitch just a little bit more. I'm aiming the threshold right now and keeping it with my eye level. And we are low, so I'm gonna add some throttle because we don't want to stall the aircraft. We are already below the approach speed. We should be fine now. Okay. Controlling the throttles, making sure we don't exceed 109 too much. And stay on profile, that's what we are trying to do here. 3 red, 1 white, we are fine. We are back on profile, so this is what we do until we land the aircraft. Alright. Coming in again. Let's sync the profile. Let's get back on the puppies. Align ourselves. Doing some final adjustments here. Okay, 2 red, 2 white. And we are good now. Okay, now I'm looking to the end of the runway.
30. 20.
Flaring slowly.
10.
And we should touch down any moment now. Touchdown, throttles idle. Nose wheel on the ground. Reversers are engaged. Slowing the aircraft down and maintaining the center line. The center line is even off in this scenery too. 60 knots, reversers off. Perfect. Flaps are now coming in, and we are going to vacate the runway in the next exit to the left. Very good. We will roll down, let the speed bleed off, and take the exit which is right in front of us. We might do some braking just to get to the speed to execute the turn properly. But there's an exit right in front of us right here. So 40 knots ground speed, we need to apply some brakes and slow the aircraft down in a little bit and vacate the runway. We can turn off or switch the radar back to standby, applying brakes now, slowing the aircraft down to roughly about 20-15 miles of ground speed, and that should help us turn easily. Okay, turning now, Going back to transponder to standby, and vacate the runway. Runway vacated. We'll turn the landing lights, oh, not the beacon, landing lights and the strobe off, and get back on. Okay, so now after landing checklist, radar is standby. Oh, this is annoying. Flight controls, we just locked the gust lock. Flaps are 0, trims are reset. Actually, let's do this and reset the elevator trim as well. And we will slow the taxi while doing the checklist. Landing and strobe lights are off, anti-ice de-icing is off. We'll turn off the probe heat and the TRU. And after 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes after landing, we will feather this condition lever 1 and go back to fuel 50. I'm not sure what that means, but I will probably learn it. Is there a detent says fuel 50? Or is it asking us to... Oh yeah, it is asking us to shut down after 2 minutes, but we are not quite there yet. We will just get to the gate first and then shut the engine down. I'm gonna keep the speed up. And let's see if we can contact ATC. Swift 69er9er1, runway vacated. Nope. ATC is dead to us, guys. Sorry about that. I very hoped that this would go well, but it didn't. And that's why I don't use ATC, because it is so annoying and you don't get to complete a flight using the ATC. It just gives up on you. Let's see if we can say it. Nope. Yep. It's gone. All right. Alright, I'm not gonna bother with ATC going forward. I will just park the aircraft. When we reach to the gate, and that will be it. That will be the end of this flight. So ATC gave up on us, guys. We'll just listen to the chatter and assume that, yeah, we have taxi and other stuff that we missed, as well as landing clearance, but so be it. I'm not sure if it's happening to you as well, but it feels like everything is like slow motion when you land in the ATR. It doesn't respond the same to the throttle and turns and everything else, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But we will probably park after this Alitalia, in between the Wizz Air and Alitalia. We'll find ourselves a parking spot. And looks like that's going to be T9, T10, maybe T12. TN is this aircraft. Or maybe T11. We'll just go and play it safe and park to Tango 11 stand and call it a day. Okay. Tango 12 is this turn. We'll just slowly execute the turn from here with some differential braking, and we will add throttle if we want to keep the aircraft moving. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's get back on the line to align ourselves and park the aircraft. Let's see how bad I'm going to park this time, because I am terrible at gauging where my front wheel or nose wheel is. But we'll see if I can do it this time. Okay, slow it down. And I think we are there now. I will stop here. Parking brake engaged, and let's see how good I did it. Oh, not bad, not bad. Taxi light coming off now. Condition lever 1 to feather, and then fuel off or cut off. And we will engage the prop brake. And bring the condition lever 2 to feather position and turn off the beacon light. Now we should have engines still running, providing electrical power, but all the other systems should be offline now. And we'll do the parking checklist. Parking brake is engaged, taxi and takeoff lights are off, condition lever 2 is at feather, beacon is off, transponder standby, tail prop, we'll put the tail prop on position, wheel chocks are in place, seatbelt signs are now coming off. No lead lag. Okay. Procedure completed. Good. We're done. Alright, I guess the GPU should be here. Yes, it is. So let's connect the ground power and request deboarding from GSX.
Deboarding requested.
And we will continue with opening our doors, cargo and main door. While it's happening, yeah, the ground power is here. We can also turn off the right fuel pump, left one will stay on. Turn off the window heat, oxygen supply. We can turn on the ground power and turn off the DC generators, AC wild, and then turn off the AC generators. And that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for being here with me today. And unfortunately we lost the ATC. It would be very nice to have ATC during landing, but so be it. Thanks for being here with me today, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving a like. And if you are not a channel subscriber, please take a couple seconds to hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. Thank you again, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.